like, what would happen if, you know, he flew, like if someone flew in and took him and Melania out of the fucking White House and brought him over to Russia,
or if someone came in and took Micheál Martin here.
Yeah, you know, I'd be up for that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be a good thing.
Like, I wouldn't know much about politics, but that's what I was kind of thinking a while ago. Like, if someone did that to someone here, if they did it to Michael D. Higgins, there'd be war.
There'd be war.
There would be war. Like, cause
there would.
I think everyone loves him.
Yeah. And it'd be easy enough carry him as well.
Yeah. He wouldn't be the hardest steal, I don't think. Like, do you know what I mean?
With the two.
You'd have to take the dog with him.
Yeah, the dogs would be heavier.
Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Conversations with Cornelius. I'm a comedian. This podcast is about my life, my wife, my likes and dislikes, hurling, football, movies, sex, drugs and rock and roll without the sex, drugs and rock and roll. There are going to be special guests and always regular contributors, but mostly it's going to be me and my main squeeze, the wife. So sit back, relax and enjoy Conversations with Cornelius. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Conversations with Cornelius. I am your host, Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan, and I am in the Fearless Digital Network studios in an undisclosed location in Cork City. And today, guys, I have the guest of guests. I have, like I thought, you know, 2 weeks ago that we had a massive guest and, you know, yeah, he was huge. Yeah, but today we are just going above and beyond. But before that, a little bit of information about what's going on with me, just so that you know. I'm looking at this camera here now. There's cameras going around the place. I'm betwiddled and betwixt, but that doesn't matter. What is going on with me? Christmas is just over, so that was good. Loads of drink, loads of food, loads of family time. It was good enough. Very little in the love-making department, unfortunately. I was begging. There was a lot of begging going on, and there was a lot of kind of slapping going on. But that's grand, you know. That's what we're into. That's our kink. And well, it's our kink. It's not really my kink. It actually hurt. But anyway, that's just my feelings. Subscribe to the Fearless Digital Network, guys. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. Also subscribe to the Patreon podcast. I've got a Patreon podcast where me and my wife go on every week and we talk about kind of, you know, how I'm not performing in any way, shape or form as an adequate husband or partner. And yeah, a good few people signing up to it. So, you know, whatever. That's it. That's it. We're in 2026. 2026, ladies and gentlemen. And we've a big year planned here now. A huge year planned here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on today's guest. I'm going to bring today's guest onto the stage. But before I do that, I'm going to give this guy the intro that he deserves. All right? So here we go. I've written a bit of this down, all right? Okay. This week's guest is a Cork and Irish professional boxer who goes by the moniker the Governor. He competes in super middleweight division. He's undefeated, 14-0. Prior to today, this guest fought in over 100, prior to his professional career, he fought in over 100 amateur bouts. 100 amateur bouts, lads, that's amazing. Competing in the World Junior Championships and winning multiple national champions. Imagine, right, Dolph Lundgren, right? Imagine Dolph Lundgren from Rocky IV, if he had sex, right, with the lad from The Notebook. Do you know the Ryan Gosling, right? And that baby came into existence and grew up around Cork City, okay, and was class with his hands, okay? Imagine that, and that is pretty much who we have here today. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, my friend and yours, Mr. Tommy Hyde.
Jeez, I can see why you're on a podcast anyway, because you are some talker after that. Jesus.
I was looking at you today, man, and I was showing my wife videos of you, and like I had to send her out of the fucking room. She was like, "Oh, put that on again there, yeah." Put that one on again there where he's sweating. I was like, "What the fuck? You're a handsome man, mate. You're a handsome man." Do you know what I mean? Like, we're talking about genetics beforehand. I only get people on who are as handsome as me on my podcast, guys, and this guy definitely qualifies.
Well, my mum and dad there that you gave me in Dolph Lundgren, who else was it?
And the fella from The Notebook, Ryan Gosling.
There you go. There's a serious mum and dad I'm after getting there.
I don't know which one is your mum and which one is your dad. Or how the fees
how
just
that works,
dated.
I don't know, but I'll take it.
There you go, man. There you go. Before we get into a few bits and pieces, first of all, very welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me on, boy. As I said, said to you before we started there, I've been listening to it since Rob's one there a couple of weeks ago, and it was an unbelievable listen. And I'm delighted to be on it. I comment on your thing, and next of all, you text me. I was saying, Jesus, I've been a fan of you since I was down at the Sea Church in Ballycotton, and there was a couple of comedians, and Chris Kent was hosting at the time, and I became a fan of you that night. You gave a joke about some letter to your dad, or a letter your dad gave you, and myself and my cousin were in stitches at it. So we really enjoyed it, and I've just been following it since. Obviously, when I was at Chris's gig down in the Marquee, and it was just brilliant. So I'm honoured to be here and talking to you.
Legend.
Cheers, man.
Legend, man. No, fucking.
You give me that $5 a minute.
Yeah, I'll give it to you afterwards, and we'll cut that part out about the $5. Okay. No hassle, man. No hassle. Coins. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. Fine.
Likewise, I was just saying to you, I know you fought in Cork there recently, and myself and Chris were above in Derry on the same night.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about what might be coming up or what mightn't be coming up later on. But it's just great to have like a boxing champion from Cork, like someone that is like I was on your YouTube now today, and I like yourself, I follow you on Instagram, and I'd be watching you, and I love. Do you know what I love? I love boxing anyway, right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to purport now to be a massive boxing knowledge guy, right? But I do love it, and I grew up watching the greats, the likes of Floyd and Tyson in particular. I love Tyson, just because he kind of reminded me of myself, like you know. Kind of, and no, but I do, and I love the Rocky movies. I love the I suppose the whole world of that. And there's no one that I can ever imagine. I was going through my head. I was like, who's big in boxing from Cork?
Yeah.
Is there anyone big in boxing from Cork?
Well, for years before I turned professional, Spike O'Sullivan was.
Spike O'Sullivan.
He was carrying the flag. He was flying the flag all over the world, really, and he was on big shows and stuff like that. And Spike is still fighting to this day. But like, there's been a massive resurgence in professional boxing in Cork now. There's probably 8 or 9 pros now from Cork, in LA, in Australia, in England, and in Cork at home as well. So it's Cork boxing is flying at the minute, which is especially professional boxing. It's flying, so it's great. We're all pushing each other on, and we're all supporting each other, and pushing each other to hopefully have massive nights in Cork in the next couple of years. Like,
what was your fight like? The last you fight, was it about 2 months ago?
It was
3 months ago?
28th or 29th of November, yeah. It was a great night. No, again, it was my first fight in Cork in 2 years, so it was up in the Procol Hall, and our bar is literally the second closest bar to the Procol Hall, so it was a great buzz. You know, nearly everyone there. And it was just a great build-up for me. I'm buzzing to be fighting in Cork and all that. And my opponent was a tough Mexican. He's just went the distance with a 2-time Olympic champion, and I was saying he's going to be tough enough, like, but obviously fancied myself, and I just caught him in the second round, knocked him out. And do you know what? I hit him with a left hook, and I didn't even realise I hit him with it. And he grabbed me legs, and I was saying, is he hurt here or what? So I went back to the neutral corner, and he fell back on his face. I was saying, oh, go on, kid. Don't get up. and the ref waved it off. So it was a great buzz, now, to be fair, and it was good to get a good finish for the crowd, because my last 2 fights in Cork, or my first 2 fights in Cork as a professional, they weren't the most exciting, and they weren't the performances weren't as good as I wanted them to be. So this one was a good one, and everyone left happy, do you know what I mean? Yeah. So the next time I fight in Cork now, there's more of a buzz for it.
He knocked your man out the last time. He's a beast. Do you know? It's like myself and Tyson back in the day.
Exactly.
You know? But that's what people love. They love, like, do you know, I wouldn't be a fan of this guy now anymore, right? But I used to love him when he broke onto the scene, Conor McGregor, right? Yeah. And it was just, he had a way of just getting you interested in his world, and then he'd knock people out, and knockouts, that's what the fight business is all about, is it? Like
100%. Like, for a promoter to look at a boxer, you need to be selling tickets, and you need to want people to watch you. And if you're going the distance all the time and you're in boring fights, people don't want to watch that. People want to see excitement. And like Conor McGregor, he was excitement. He was exciting on the mic. He'd tell you what he's going to do, and then he'd go out and do it.
Mystic Mac.
To be fair, like, any dub that you meet is Conor McGregor. It's just he can fight. Yeah. You know what I mean? So you'd meet 1,000 dubs like him. Yeah. He can fight though, and he backed it up all the time. So I was a massive fan of him when he was in his prime. He was the man. Like, how he just went from UFC to boxing, and next fight he fights Floyd Mayweather, who's one of the best ever. And somehow he convinced people that he had a chance of winning. Obviously, the boxing fans knew, but like, it was crazy, and fair play to him for making the money and
he went
doing that.
Fair enough against them. Did he go 7 or 8 rounds or
he
something?
Did, I think he went 10 rounds.
Did he go 10 rounds?
But saying that, like, I think Mayweather played his part, and kind of he was breaking him down as the fight went on, and it looked like McGregor was doing better than he actually was doing, I think. Like.
Yeah. Just something popped into my head there now again, and I hadn't this written down at all. Do you know the fight that happened there recently with Joshua and
Jake Paul?
And Jake Paul.
Yeah.
What's your take on Jake Paul? I think before you give me your take, right? I'll just give you my take, right? Because I don't know anything about professional boxing, right? But did Anthony Joshua just do that for the cash,
100%.
100%.
Yeah. And why wouldn't you?
I'm not saying you wouldn't do it for the cash, but is Jake Paul a lunatic? Because Anthony Joshua, what is he? He must be 6'6".
6'6", yeah.
6'6". And I know he was in a bad crash there, and tragically a couple of his friends passed away, which is terrible. Yeah. And he came out of it. But he's a monster of a man.
Specimen. He's a specimen.
What's your man doing?
So for that one, I think Jake Paul, I'm kind of looking at it, I was thinking, is he trying to do it just to get the respect of boxing fans? Because he hasn't got that, because he fought the likes of Tyson, which is obviously a big money spinner as well. But Tyson's an all man. But even at that, he had people convinced that it was going to be a competitive fight. I was working in the bar now, and people are saying, Tyson will kill him. They're thinking it's 23-year-old Mike Tyson, forgetting that Tyson's an elderly man now. He's 60, pushing on. He's over 60, I'd say. And it came out afterwards that he nearly died in the preparation. He had some illness and he was very bad. So I'm glad he came out of it safe and made a lot of money, which Mike Tyson he's an icon, really. He's one of the most well-known people that boxing has ever produced.
In his heyday, he had that...
Just the aura of him was unbelievable. You know what I mean? Just frightening. Imagine standing across the ring from him and he's looking at you.
I seen him doing one thing and he was just doing this. Your man was doing this, and Tyson was just
the eyes didn't. The head didn't move and the eyes were just staring him. But he's scary, man. But going back to Joshua, you're never going to get a payday for as much money for as easy as a fight as that. So people were saying it's a disgrace, Joshua's a disgrace to boxing. And I'm looking at him are you mad? Why wouldn't he do this?
Sure, I watched this and he was just coming out and he was just, and your man was I was what are you doing? What are you doing?
He is off his game. To be fair, he has some balls. He's some balls. He's I know he's getting a lot of money and it's easy to have balls for that, but standing across the ring from Joshua, he's after knocking fellas out cold, and he's a huge man, and doing that kind of crack. I didn't actually watch the fight, to be honest. I seen the knockout, and I thought it might last 2 rounds, but I heard the fight was a bit of a disgrace, to be honest. There was a lot of holding, and Jake Paul was throwing himself on the floor and stuff.
He was doing a bit now that Mexican fella, around the legs and stuff like that. You've the game won then at that stage.
I couldn't say I'd do anything different, to be honest. He's a big, huge man hitting you with hammers. So
I'd fight him for 10 million myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I heard they got 30, 40 million each, so I'd fight 2 of them for that.
I'd do for $5,000.
Yeah.
Just be running around the place trying to avoid him.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to play a little game, right? Before we get into the body of the conversation. This game is called Trending Topics with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan. See, making connection here.
We didn't break either.
We didn't break. No. What was that? There was a fight there recently where they were just doing a stare down and they didn't break. What was that?
A lot of people do it. There is a lot of fights do it. They say it's mind games,
and someone has to come in and break it up, otherwise.
Kinda, yeah. I suppose it adds a bit of hype to the fight and stuff like that, but doesn't mean anything. I don't know.
What's your vibe now? Before when you're going for the weigh, and it's not the weigh-in, it's
the weigh-in, to kind of face off after the weigh-in. It would kind of depend what your man's vibe is, to be honest.
Yeah.
If a man was friendly, I'd be friendly, but if he's giving you an all dirty look, you give it back, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If to stand your ground too,
fucking hell, you're up to nothing if you can't stand your ground as a boxer. He was a great boxer, but he
couldn't stand his ground.
Let's stand his ground. So I've 3 things, right? We'll see how we get on with them.
Yeah.
I don't know much about them myself,
right?
Hashtag Venezuela.
Venezuela, that was close enough to the last fella I fought. He was Valenzuela. I've never been to Venezuela. I've been all over the world, but never been to Venezuela. I suppose that's trending over the whole thing with Trump and the president.
Yeah.
Do I know much about that? No, I don't.
Well, I'll poke a few interesting questions on it, right? So apparently now, right, the reason that Donald Trump sent in the army to bomb Venezuela, and take out the dictator was something to do with drugs. He's a dictator. He was basically he's the puppet master of the whole Venezuela. The economy is after shooting down there. Yeah. He's loaded. Trump comes in, World Team Police America or World America Team Police or whatever it is, flies in, gets him and the wife, flies him back out. They're in New York now at the moment, and I have a friend of mine, she's a comedian here in Cork, and I was looking at her story during the week, and it's like she's kind of saying, you don't really know what you're talking about. Irish people don't know what you're talking about. You don't know how bad this Venezuela was, you know? And I think that's a good point. Obviously, you have to listen to the people from Venezuela. But I also think it's a bit like, what would happen if, you know, he flew, like if someone flew in and took him and Melania out of the fucking White House and brought him over to Russia.
Or if someone came in and took Micheál Martin here.
Yeah, no, I'd be up for that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that'd be a good thing.
Like, I wouldn't know much about politics, but that's what I was kind of thinking a while ago. Like, if someone did that to someone there, if they did it to Michael D. Higgins, there'd be war.
There'd be war.
There would be war. Like,
there would.
I think everyone loves him.
Yeah. And it'd be easy enough to carry him as well.
Yeah. He wouldn't be the hardest steal, I don't think. Like, you know what I mean?
But the two
You'd have to take the dog with him.
Yeah, the dogs would be heavier.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just mad. I know he's talking about taking Greenland, and he's talking about Cuba. Cuba's about to fall. Mexico's about to fall.
Yeah.
The reason I was looking at it, and I've got other, we'll say, more light-hearted trending topics, is I'm obsessed in my own world, right? I'm on tour at the moment with my new show. Tickets on sale, Cork Opera House. Come to, that's my little.
That was sharp,
yeah. And it's going very well, but you'd want to get them quickly. And do you know what I mean?
Only a handful left, I heard.
Yeah, only a handful. You run a big hand now, like, but it's still a handful. But I'm obsessed. I'm in my own world, and as I imagine that you probably would be, you know, if you have a fight coming up, you're like, but you see all this fucking carry on going across the globe, and you see like what's going on out in Israel, and you see what's going on with the Ukraine and China now with Taiwan and stuff like that, and I'm like, should I just move down to Kerry with my kids and try and get the fuck far away from all this stuff?
Yeah.
No, maybe not Kerry. It's not that dramatic. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we go somewhere else, Clare maybe, like, you know. Do you ever think like that? Or are you like, I'm just fucking, maybe that's just me.
I wouldn't see much of the stuff, to be honest. I don't know, is it because the accounts I follow on social media or what? I see the bits about, obviously, Palestine, you know, and it's mental what's going on over there, and the stuff with Russia and Ukraine. That was kind of worldwide news. That's on everything, really. But the thing with Venezuela, a few things popped up now, right? And to be honest, I skip past more stuff.
Yeah. If it's not, very fresh, like.
If it's not sports related or something funny, I skip on. But it's like, I heard that people were kind of protesting outside of Venezuela, but the Venezuelans were actually happy.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to go what they say.
You kind of have to go with them, like.
Don't you? Like,
and this is what I'm saying. It's like, I think you kind of have to say, well, look, if they're happy, let's go. But at the same time, I think it's wrong what happened. So it's kind of a weird kind of a juxtaposition. Like, you shouldn't be able to go in and just extract leaders. But then at the same time, everybody else is like totally thrilled now that he's gone, you know. But sure, I suppose it
like if he did it in Cuba to Castro, I think Fidel Castro's dead, but his brother.
Yeah.
Like I wonder what way they would take it. As I'm saying, like the Cuban boxers are unbelievable, but a lot of the Cuban boxers, when they come out of Cuba, they don't even want to box because they were boxing as amateurs to get out of Cuba and have a better life. They travel then with the national team and they'd see different parts of the world. But then when they actually turn professional, there's very few of them actually get to the top because they're like, we've made it now, we're out of Cuba.
Yeah.
My dad brought 3 Cubans back to Cork from Cuba. He got them out.
What?
And like,
I knew we were going to fucking find something amazing on Venezuela. It happened to Cuba. But tell me more about this.
So like you'll have to get him on as a guest sometime as well. He has some mental stories.
Brilliant.
He got 3 Cubans out and like 2 of them were like absolutely world class, like should have been world champions. But when they got out of Cuba, they were kind of like, I didn't really want to box. I remember we were up in Sunnyside Boxing Club. I was only a child at the time, 9-10 years of age, and my dad looked at him. He just says, look at any of the boxers there, and it was all like 15-16-year-old boxers, and he says, train like any of them and you'd be world champions, because they were training like they didn't want to train that much. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And one of them is still fighting now, and he still had a good career, but he could have achieved so much more. But yeah, like that's what I see with the Cuban fighters. There's a new generation that are making it as pros now. When they come out, they realise that there's so much opportunity to make money and to be world champions and stuff like that, and they're taking over when they do put their mind to it. But like the amount of Olympic champions they had and the success they have as amateur boxers, And then a lot of them turn pro and they're like, that's it now, we've made it.
You would always see in the Olympics, you would always see the Cubans
They're the best.
on the podium, like, you know.
They're the best.
And is it not, like, I know they have the Southpaw and the Orthodox.
Yeah.
Like, for some reason, anytime I hear of Cuban, I always, in my own head, I'm like, I just see the Southpaw.
Yeah,
like, or
the
something
majority
like
of them are trained Southpaw. Like, there's a lot of, so traditionally a right-handed, so I'm right-handed, so I'm Orthodox, but a left-handed would be Southpaw, but a lot of the Cubans are right-handed Southpaws, so they just train them that way. But like, a lot of people say that Southpaws should be drowned at birth because they're just so awkward. They can be so awkward. If you don't know how to fight a Southpaw, they can be a nightmare. Do you know what I mean? They can be a nightmare. But so I suppose a lot of the Cubans were Southpaws. There's a lot more Orthodox now in this generation, but they're all very, very good. Like,
yeah, you're Orthodox.
Orthodox, yeah.
So have you ever been in a fight where you're fighting this dude here now? And I have a question about IQ and later on coming up, right? Boxing IQ, but like, you'd be like I assume like it's more than just you're not going in and trying to bait the head off someone. You are trying to bait the head off someone, but it's you're trained, so you're looking at like opportunities. Would you ever change? Have you ever changed stance?
I've done it shadow boxing, and like it feels like you never boxed before when you change. To be honest, but there's some fighters that have done it since they're kids, and they're like, You'd never know which one they are. Michael Conlan's one of them. He can switch like naturally, so naturally. And Terence Crawford, who's one of the best ever, one of the best of our generation, he's just retired. Like, and I actually don't know if he's Southpaw or Orthodox.
Really?
Like, he's that good.
Jesus. I know Michael Conlan now, he got a raw deal in the Olympics a while back. Yeah. He's lifting as well. Like,
unreal. Unreal.
You could grate cheese off. He's fucking like
unreal.
And he's
phenomenal athlete. Like,
and he's a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah,
and you know, he's himself as well. Like, you know, like I love. I went way off topic there, but that concludes #Venezuela. Yeah. And now we'll move on. We
went from Venezuela there now to Michael Conlan, so that was good.
That was a good one. We'll see where we go with this one now.
Yeah.
#the Cork Hurlers.
Cork Hurlers. Yeah.
And we had a bit of a chat beforehand, before we came on.
Yeah, as I was saying, Joe, I'm new on the Cork hurling buzz, I suppose. A lot of people are, since with the hype around the Cork team in the last couple of years, but it's, as I said to you, it's some of the best days out I've had is following the Cork team up the country, or whether it's down in the park or wherever it is. It's a great day out, and it's like, I love being from Cork, so I'm laughing because well, anyone that knows me will be like, how long will it be till he starts talking about Cork? But this is
fucking hell, man.
We went about 4 minutes there anyway, but yeah, it's great supporting Cork, and they're all local lads, so it's like it's your own, like you're supporting your own. So I love that. I love seeing them doing well, and we've had 2 great years. You know what I mean? We haven't got the All Ireland, but it's been great supporting them, and we've been so close. And please God, no, we will get over the line in the next couple of years. Like,
please God, we will. And do you know what? We have had 2 great years. Yeah. And last year, I know everyone focuses on the All Ireland final, right? Which was obviously not great for a finish, but like, I mean, last year was just an amazing year. Like,
yeah, it was unreal.
Like, I was at the Limerick game where they got hammered, and then back there a couple of weeks later where they won on penalties.
I was
extra
at that
time.
one. No, the penalties one. Yeah,
were you at that game?
Yeah, it's like unreal.
That was fucking like a sexual experience.
Yeah,
like.
it was, what a buzz. Like,
wasn't it unbelievable?
It's just the whole day out. I think I was up there with my nephew and my girlfriend, like, and actually my buddy and his girlfriend. So, like, we'd always go to the games together, kind of, and it's just a great day out. Like, the whole thing, the whole buzz of it, it's just, everything is so good. Like,
from the whole pageantry from the very start, when you're walking in and there's green and there's red, and you're
mainly red though,
and it was mainly red. Well, in that replay, Limerick are good to support, I'll say.
Yeah.
But like the All Ireland semi final when we played Dublin, it was like 95% Cork supporters there.
Yeah,
you had that game.
I was at that one. Yeah,
the 6-goal game.
Yeah.
I brought my 2 young fellas to that now.
Unreal.
Like, it was their first time in Croke Park. Fucking hell. I made a video of it as well. And I'll tell you now, I just know on my deathbed, I'll be looking at that video of that day.
Brilliant.
It was just unbelievable. Like, but you went to school with a couple of the boys as well.
I did, yeah. I went to school with a couple of them. A couple were the year below me and a couple of year above. Like, so it's great, like, seeing them even. And like, Robert Downey now and Owen Downey, if you'd often see them going around Ballyvalan with a hurley in their hand since they're 10, 11 years of age, and now you're seeing them captaining the Cork team and doing so well. Like,
full back and centre back.
It's great to see it, you know what I mean? It's great to see it, and 2 sound fellas as well.
Yeah.
Anyone I've met that is on the Cork team are absolutely sound. Like, so,
and they're all legends.
Yeah.
They are generally, from my experience, look, obviously you'll have everything. It takes all types to make a world, but in general, GA people are salt of the earth, like they genuinely are. But like, what that's the Glen. So is this? Is that your club?
We went to. Well, I'm living in Rathcooney, so I'm in between Stars and the Glen. Really, I'm in the middle of them. But my nephew plays with the Glen. Like, he's playing with Glen Rovers for the last year or two. So he'd be delighted seeing them all around the place.
Yeah,
like, it's
what a buzz to go training with them.
Isn't what? I mean? Isn't what? Like, I'm looking at them like they should be superstars. Like, I went down. I remember going for a coffee there in Cork Coffee Roasters in St. Luke's there one year. That would have been. It was actually after they played Limerick down on the Saturday night, and it was the week after that. So they were playing in Thurles the next day against Tipperary, and Robert Downey was there again. And I'm like, you shouldn't even be able to sit down here. Yeah. Like, I was like, I was just amazed at how the skill level of them and the fitness and the atmosphere around them, and what's the capacity down in Páirc Uí Chaoimh, like, and
what is it? Is it 48? I think.
So there's 48,000 people watching them on the following Saturday, and then the next week they're up in St. Luke's having a coffee as if nothing.
Yeah,
I mean, like, you shouldn't even be able to sit down here. Like,
yeah, it's, when you think of it like that, it's actually that is a strange thing, because I mean, if I do a gig, like I remember when I did the gig in the Marquee with Chris, it was 4,000 at that.
Yeah,
I was in right for a week after. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, mine 48,000.
Yeah. It must be some anticlimax at the same time as well.
Yeah.
Like, they're back training on a Monday, I suppose. Like, it must be hard. Like, I know the footballers and stuff do it, the soccer players do it, like, but it must be some anticlimax.
But they have a load of money in their bank to do you know what I mean? To kind of like compensate for the low of the Monday. Like,
I suppose the lads are back to work on a Monday morning there and train on Monday night, and it's crazy. Like, it's mental.
It's mental, and it's I think sometimes it's forgotten. You know, like I'm passionate about GA, right? And my dad is fucking, like, if you're talking about your dad, my dad is unbelievably passionate about the GA, like, and he just won't listen to any nuance. No, fuck it, no. They should have done this. They should have done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And but there's characters like that all across the stratosphere of GA, and I think sometimes it does get lost. Yeah, that they're just fucking lads that are playing a game that they love. Like
you see the abuse they were getting after the All Ireland final, and I'm like, this is mental. Like, I actually couldn't believe it. Like, grown men saying stuff there online, and you're just like, get a life. You know what I mean? Have you anything better to do with your day? Like,
it was the rumour that went around. I remember I got texted that rumour. I'd say 15 times within the first hour or 2 hours after it happened, and it was in my GA WhatsApp group with my friends as well. And half of us were going, no fucking way, and the other half were like, whoa, no smoke without fire. And, you know, I felt sorry for the players afterwards in hindsight. And I think Hoggy said it himself, actually. He said the Cork County Board should have fucking come out and fucking said it. And he's probably right, because they're only fucking, they're down drinking coffee in Cork Coffee Roasters the next day. Like, do you know what I mean? Protect them a small bit, like. Yeah. But anyway, it's just the Cork Hurlers.
It's unreal, like, but at the same time, then they get so much support. The Cork Hurling fans are unbelievable. They're brilliant. They travel in numbers, and it's unreal to see it.
Yeah.
So I suppose they just have to take the good with the bad. But
were you on the terrace, or were you in the terrace for anyone? You'd have no.
I was on the terrace for the Limerick one in Limerick.
I'd hate to be standing behind you.
Yeah. There was a couple of tall boys there in front of me as well. So, but that was some day out, like, you know what I mean? Everyone onto the pitch afterwards. I was just like, this is unreal. Like, I felt like a child, to be honest.
Sure, and it was like, I don't know if you remember the night now, but it was like, it went to extra time, and then it was like the floodlights come on, and it's always special when floodlights come on. Yeah. It's always different.
And then you heard the music and everyone's singing, and it's like, this is on. Like, I've been to massive boxing fights, but I haven't seen anything like that.
No.
I haven't seen anything like it anywhere I've been. I've been to massive boxing fights. I've been very lucky to go to big fights and never seen anything like that.
Yeah. Hopefully now this year, Hopefully this year we'll
please
do
God,
this,
please God. But
and then you'll be there in a few years' time. Hopefully I'll be on the terrace.
As I said, there's a lot of people now to be selling out, but
I'm telling you, I
we'll
think
go towards it. Yeah.
Hashtag Manchester United. I don't know if you're into soccer now at all. This is what's trending.
I'm not into soccer, but my nephew's a massive Man United fan. I train in Manchester. We actually, the running track we use in Manchester is the Etihad Stadium, so Man City, but I actually couldn't name 3 Man United players, I'd say.
Bobby Charlton, best.
I mean current, Roy Keane.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
your man got sacked during the week.
Yeah, I saw that.
Their manager. I think that's why it's probably trending.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really give a shit about Man United either, to be honest about it. Like, I would have, like, I'm an Everton supporter, but I would have a kind of an affinity towards the old school, you know, the Dennis Irwins, the Rise. Like, I mean,
she's the best Roy Keane, isn't he?
Have you met him?
No, I haven't. I've never met him.
He's mad to get on the podcast. Fuck off.
I can only imagine, but sure. You're so busy yourself as well.
I'm trying
like,
to get the big stars in. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're something fucking hell.
You know what I mean?
He's gone now. Like, he's not even playing anymore. But he's a late. Like, I mean,
some man. I actually brought my nephew down to his a night with Roy Keane, was it, down in the Marquee? And I've actually heard all the stories before
with Roddy Doyle.
But like, I'd listened to him 10 times over. It's just brilliant. Like,
yeah, he's got an aura, like, doesn't he?
Yes, and so funny as well. Without even trying, like, he's just brilliant. He's unreal.
I love him as well. I love him. I'm sorry, Roy. You can totally come on the podcast if you want.
And I've heard so many good stories about him that people wouldn't have heard about, like how much he does for charity and going to see people that are sick. There was one of the lads there that used to drink in the bar, and he was very sick. It kind of went viral on Facebook, and his wish was kind of to see Roy Keane. And next of all, there was a week later, Roy was up there chatting away to him, and just like never forgot where he came from, which I love. Like, I love that. He's some man.
And it's a rarity, actually. It is a rarity to see that in people, you know, when they're, because, like, you know, if you're Roy Keane, for example, you're a global superstar. Like, you're massive. A global superstar, but you're dead right. Like, he comes home anonymously, and he'd be, you know, going in and around town, and he was at the American football match there a few weeks ago, like, you know. But he just, he's just a legend. I mean, like,
he couldn't walk down the street. Like,
he couldn't.
Like, anyone that would see him would know him. So like, he and then he's just so normal then as well. It's brilliant.
He's out at City match. He goes to a lot of City matches as well,
and Rockmond as well. Like, he's out watching Rockmond all the time, I think, when he's home. Like, so he goes out a lot to watch them as well. So it's mad. Like,
did you play? Was it just boxing, or did you do any other sport?
I played a small bit of rugby with the school. I wasn't much good at it. I played probably one or 2 years, and then you kind of get to the age where you're 11 or 12 and you're allowed box then competitionally. Or competitively, sorry, and that was kind of the end of the rugby then as well.
So 11 or 12, that's when you were.
I started boxing when I was 7, like, training and doing bits, like, and then we went up to the club sparring in Sunnyside up in the Procol Hall, which is where I actually had my 3 pro fights in Cork. So upstairs is where I was warming up. That's where my amateur club was, the first one. And that's when you start sparring then, and then you have your first fight at 11. I had a couple of exhibitions at 10 and stuff. There's no winner for them, like, but
11. Did you just love it from the get-go?
I think so. Do you know what? I remember, weirdly enough, if you ever go into a boxing club, especially an old boxing club, you get the smell in there of the gloves, and people think it's manky, like, and I used to love the smell. I'd be smelling my hands afterwards, and there's probably about 4,000 fellas' hands in it, sweaty hands, and manky when you think of it, but I used to love the smell of it. And I suppose I remember going up the stairs to Sunnyside Boxing Club, and you hear people skipping up there, and you hear the skipping rope whacking off the floor, and there was a bit of a buzz for that, alright, like, so I must have loved it from the start, like.
Well, I mean, if sounds and smells turn you on, then you're fucking lifting. Genuinely, I'm the same. I was talking about that in a podcast a couple of weeks ago about the dressing room, about being in a dressing room, that it's like, not many people are in dressing rooms when it counts, and I'd imagine a boxing gym is the exact same thing, like, you know.
Yeah, I
not
suppose
many people stroll off the street and come into a boxing gym.
No, they don't. And to be honest, I've heard people say, like, that everyone should have, like, a spar in their life or train and have a fight in their life, and I kind of agree with it, because it's an unbelievable feeling it's an unbelievable, like, roller coaster of emotions to go through. Like, for me now, like, losing weight the week of a fight, you make weight, then you're rehydrating and eating again. And then you're getting ready for the fight, so you have the nerves of the fight, you're in the dressing room, all that kind of crack, and then walking out for the fight, having the fight, winning, and then celebrating afterwards. It's like, you're just like, the next day you're just like, I can't sleep the night of a fight afterwards, and then I might have 2 or 3 hours sleep, and I'd wake up and I'd be buzzing. I'd wake at like 5, 6 in the morning, buzzing, phone is going, and next of all I might get to 12 o'clock and I just boom, hit a wall, and I'm like, oh Jesus, I need to go to bed here. And it's just like, there's so many emotions all week, and you just bollocks after it then.
I when I was doing a bit of research for the podcast, I watched a vlog you made when you were fighting in Spain.
Spain, right? Yeah.
And I loved it. I loved it because you did give exactly what you were saying. You did give a kind of a. They're all eating at McDonald's there now, and they're eating pizzas around me. Fucking bollocks! As I'm trying to drop weight here, and I'm getting weighed tonight. And then the minute you got weighed, you were like fucking having your spag ball. You know, you're showing which I love to see. Actually, I love to see the little peek behind the curtain. What it's like beforehand, because you see everyone sees the walkout and the fight, right? Which is what we're all there for. But the little peek behind the curtain for me is always
it's good. And I was training, when I turned pro first, I was training in LA for about a year and a half. So I was living over there with a family friend of mine who looked after me massively over there. We were living in a garage, so I was at the side of a house. There was two of us, and then ended up being three of us living in there was one bed, one pull-out bed and a couch.
You're all in the same bed, were you? Listen, man, there's nothing wrong with that.
Do you know what? I mean? Sometimes, believe it or not, it gets chilly enough in America. So
a little bit of a cold.
The body heat.
Yeah, bit of body heat.
But
what's
Ian,
that? It doesn't matter. Shut up. Yeah.
There's something sticking into me back there. But Ian,
it's a spring.
But Ian, it was his. He was renting the garage, and Ian was giving me his bed. He was sleeping on the sofa, and then Brandon as well was training there, and he was so Ian was paying for the garage, and he was giving us the bed. He was sleeping on the sofa, so that kind of shows the kind of fella he was. That was going on for about a year and a half, and it was unreal. But people are looking at me training in LA, thinking, "Oh, he's living the dream. This is unreal over in Hollywood." But don't get me wrong, it's an unbelievable experience, and being able to do that, and I'm very lucky to be able to do that. But
you're doing it on a budget.
Yeah, that, and also I'm waking up at 5 a.m, going for a run, going back to bed, having your breakfast, waking up again, then driving an hour to training, come back then after that, an hour back, have food, go to sleep, do nothing for the night, and do that again, and keep just doing that every day. You know what I mean? So
for when you were training in LA, so did you have fights lined up over there?
Yeah, I would kind of go over. I'm lucky to be in that position where I'd have the bar backing me and my mum and dad looking after me and helping me out that way. So I was able to go over say 8 weeks before a fight, and then I'm staying with Ian, so that helped out an awful lot as well. But I'd go over for 8 weeks, 7-8 weeks, and then fight, and then sometimes I'd come home, sometimes I might stay on a little bit. And hopefully get another fight kind of quickly enough. But great experience.
Oh man.
My dad managed a lot of fighters, so I've been over and back to LA since I'm a child with his fighters, kind of just watching all that. So I've kind of grew up around the gyms there.
So
it was great to do it myself. The Wildcard Boxing Club would be one of the most famous gyms ever in boxing, really. Freddie Roach trained that. And my dad had Rigondeaux, who was the Cuban, 2-time Olympic champion, world champion, and he was training there when I was 10 or 11. 10, and I used to always be seeing the different champions in there, and I was saying I'd love to be here one day, and I remember going in there then when I was 23, 24 with my dad sparring in there, and I was the full circle moment, it was a great buzz.
Yeah, I tell you, man, thoughts become things, man. I'm all about that. That concludes Trending Topics with Cornelius Patrick O'Sullivan.
What was that one? What was the last one?
Manchester United. Should we get fucking nothing about Man United on it, Do you know what I mean?
Nobody wants to talk about Man United.
Exactly. I have 7 questions for you, right?
Jeez, I'm probably after covering them all, don't
I? And a few more popped into my head even as you were talking there, because I'm going to start with one that popped into my head.
Yeah.
Because you touched on something there that I'm familiar with, you know. You have this, and I say you, I'm talking about, when you're working in the kind of the public life, if you're a professional sports person, if you're a comedian, if you're an actor, if you're a musician and stuff like that, you have to kind of fake it till you make it to a certain extent on social media. Do you know what I mean? You have to do that. I definitely do it. I know all my contemporaries do it. And sometimes that's just too hard, and you have to. Some people aren't able to fucking do it, and they'll have to give up and stuff like that. But the struggle. How old are you now?
26.
26. The struggle is real. The financial struggle, I would imagine, is something that is very challenging.
Yeah.
How do you navigate that?
Again, Hannah Bonds or Bar, I'm blessed to have the backing of that, and then I have very good sponsors. The Black Market have sponsored me since my 4th fight. The Red Rose in Boston sponsor me no matter where I fight in the world. The same with the Black Market. So they're 2 sponsors now that have been very good to me through the last couple of years. And what do they gain out of that? Nothing really.
Yes. Wait till they get Parky Queef.
But at the same time, they're still doing that just out of the goodness of their hearts.
Yeah.
and I can't go on about how thankful I am for them. But there's a lot of struggles with even going away from home all the time and that stuff, and then you have to sell tickets. You have to kind of, for me to fight in Cork, I have to sell tickets there, and you're texting people, do you want to pay money to come watch me fight? Which is kind of a cheeky thing to do. I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't have a neck like that normally, but I'm kind of getting a neck now because you kind of have to do it. Oh, do you want to come to me fight there?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's €50, €70 for a ticket there.
Trying to bring a few of your friends as well.
Yeah, get a good crowd of you to come. You'll have a great night. Yeah. So I don't know if they'll have a great night.
But you're a quiet priest, never got a parish. Like, do you know what I mean? You have to put yourself out.
You do,
there, right?
and it's the same with social media. Everything you need to have you need to have a social media presence now as well, which is a very important thing. Eventually I'll be going to a promoter, and then a promoter will look at my social media page and say, oh, he have such and such 1,000 followers or whatever. And I was always kind of active enough on social media since a child, but like one of the Cork boxers there, and I went for a run with him the other day, Stephen Cairns, and I'm not afraid to ask questions, and he has like 130,000 followers, and Stephen is very good on it, and I was asking him like a few little tips, like, and he was just saying keep posting, like just be active on it, and that's the main thing. I'm trying to be active without putting up a load of shite really, but like trying to just make sure you're putting up interest and stuff, and things that people can relate to, and things that people are interested in, like what you're doing in a day there. Or he does stuff now, like what he's eating in a day, or different exercises and stuff like that, which is I enjoy watching them. So
this is it. I mean, anyone who's following you is interested in who you are and what you do. So I mean, you're just, and he's dead right. I have got that advice as well from people who've got, you know, big accounts. Post every day, be yourself kind of vibes, you know, but every day, and that's the challenge, isn't it? That's the fucking, like, I mean, like for me, I want to stand on stage and tell jokes. That's what I want to do. Like, and or tell stories that I've cultivated. But to get anyone to come to see it,
to get to that stage, there's a lot has to be done.
There's a lot of shit that has to be done. Like you have to fucking sleep with men and, you know, singles mattresses, you know, and that's just what you had to do, and that's all right, Tom. Right? Listen, there's no one judging you. Here we go. Tell me something about yourself that some people may not know.
So I touched on it there a while ago. I went to Christians, and I say that to people there. They might ask me where did I go to school, and I say to them, and they'd be kind of shocked because it's a private school, and I actually went to Christians since I'm in junior infants, and I dropped out then in 6th year, which you can only imagine my mum was thrilled with.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, but I was never really big into school. Never big into school. I was always kind of boxing, and I remember saying in fourth year I'll turn pro when I'm 18. Just kind of stupid talk, but obviously things that you be reading online or seeing online, people doing that at 18, and fellas are kind of looking at me, and I didn't really know. I probably wasn't even after winning like a national title at that stage, but I always knew eventually what I wanted to do. But at the same time, I do want to kind of start doing courses and stuff like that, and like I'd love to like do a nutrition course now, and kind of I'm interested in that kind of stuff as well. So I wish I did do my leaving cert and kind of went a bit further with education that way. But
well, you can do education now anyway. Like, first of all, I failed my leaving cert, and so
congratulations.
Thanks so much. You know, at least you didn't fucking have that opportunity to do that, right? But I do think, right, you know, you being in a boxing gym in LA when you're 7 and 8 and stuff like that is like, what are you doing now? Like, do you know what I mean? Like who gives a shit what Pythagoras is? Do you know what I mean? You're there living the dream that you had as a 7-year-old boy, and every step that you've taken has taken you to there, like, you know. And as my wife keeps saying to me, you can always go back as a mature student. I hated school, man.
I just wasn't into it. I'm not sure what it was. I just had no interest, and I remember getting homework and just thinking, oh Jesus, just couldn't be bothered with it. But like, as I said, I was travelling the world with my dad, to be fair. Like, he brought me everywhere with him. Like, he had Rigan Ono, who was fighting in China, Japan, and I was right next to him there, Vegas, a couple of times. Like, I was there for all of that. So, to be honest, I was out of school more than I was in it.
Which would you prefer now, a leaving cert or those memories? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I would have loved to leave cert now. But like, I remember doing my first, the mocks for the leaving cert. I was doing my first pre. I think I did the first one, and then the next day I was going to Morocco. I was supposed to fight over there. We went to Morocco, and that fight was cancelled. I came back and I was up with the Irish team then, and we went to Russia, and that was the end of it. Then I never went back to school after that. So,
how many countries have you been to?
I'll have to do a list because I've been all over. Like
you were in Russia as well.
Yeah, Russia, Ukraine. I've boxed in Russia, 2 tournaments in Russia, 1 in Ukraine. So I've been kind of everywhere.
Yeah,
South Africa.
And how is this? Like I'd imagine, like with all that traveling, how is it hard to? I know you're in a relationship, aren't you?
Yeah.
Is it hard to maintain a relationship? Like,
yeah, myself and Kara with each other now 6 years, so I think she knew what she was signing up for. Maybe not to this extent, because as I said, I was in LA for a year and a half. Might see her every 3 months.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not the easiest thing, but I'm training in Manchester now, so it's a lot closer to home. I'm home a lot of the weekends, the majority of weekends really, or else she might come over.
Yeah.
So it's a lot handier that way, but still away from home a lot. Like.
Yeah, it's another challenge, I suppose. It's another challenge in the journey. So as I said, I did a small bit of research, right? So your great granduncle, also Tommy Hyde.
Yeah.
He won an elite boxing title in the 1940s. Your dad, who you've mentioned a few times here, Gary. Sorry, Gary. Apologies.
Jerry with an A.
Jerry with an A. All right, Ger. He, as you said, he's an influential boxing manager. He's worked with international athletes and fighters. You didn't lick this up off the ground, like, do you know what I mean?
Nah.
Do you know much about your great granduncle? What kind of an influence did he have? The history of him have, and more so your dad?
Yeah, I've heard so many stories about him, and I remember meeting Tommy, and he had dementia. So when I met him, he wasn't all there, like. But I remember being like 9 or 10. So he beat Peter Crotty, who was like a legendary boxer down in Dungarvan. He was known as the Iron Man, and they had a gym down there. I think it was called the Iron Man gym in Dungarvan, and they had a tournament down there, and they wanted me to have an exhibition on it because I was like 10 at the time, and obviously my namesake beat Peter Crotty, who was the legend, and they were bringing Tommy down there. I could have been younger, I could have been 9. And they were bringing Tommy down there and just introduced him to the crowd and all that. He was in his late 70s, I'd say, or he was in his 70s anyway. And I remember my dad coming up saying it to him, and then a couple of days later we went to pick him up, and he says, "They're walking me into one down here now. They're walking me into one that says, they know I'm not training. They know I'm not training."
How old was he then?
He was in his 70s, you know what I mean? So, but he was, I'll go down, I wouldn't back down from anyone, but they're walking me into one. So we went down there and I did the exhibition, but they were calling me out in the blue corner from Cork, Tommy Hyde, and he was saying, "Oh, Jesus." But he was, like, I've heard so many great stories about how much of a gentleman he was.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've heard the stories of how good he was in as a boxer. His nickname is the Prince of Cork Boxing. That was given to him in his later years. The
Prince of Cork Boxing.
And there's a plaque in Bishop's Lucy Park with that. The Prince of Cork Boxing. Yeah.
Very cool.
So like that's unreal. I would have loved to seen some videos of him. Like, but some great photos now I've seen. And he was it's a pity I wasn't a bit older when I was around him, like, because like hearing the stories about him, he was a legend in Cork boxing.
And he's your dad's uncle then, obviously?
He'd be my dad's uncle, yeah.
And
he'd be my dad's granduncle. So he'd be my great granduncle. Yeah.
And tell me then about your dad, like, because I mean that's like what you've said already. That's fascinating, like, do you know what I mean? That you're going to all these countries, you're surrounding yourself. Like, I mean, like for me, it's GA. Like I'm just trying to equate that now, like. Been in and like hanging around with Jimmy Barry Murphy and John Fitzgibbon and Teddy McCarthy. Like, you're with the greats. Like,
it was like, I remember Rigondeaux was fighting on a Manny Pacquiao undercard, and I was in Vegas that week. It was in the MGM Grand, and we're going around, and I could get up to photos there, like, and I'm meeting Roy Jones, Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield. This is like one after the other, like a couple in the same day, and I'm like, this is mental. I was probably like 10. Like, this is mental. I've all the photos there, and it's crazy, like the amount of people I've met and bumped into, and just through the years, it's unreal. I'm a massive boxing fan, so that's so cool for me. Like, so I follow boxing. I know a lot about boxing, as in, like, I follow all the different records, and I was always like a little freak, really, to be honest, with the box rec. Now you'd be
a nerd. You'd know all the information,
proper nerd, about like them as amateurs, and like. Just like a little freak with the box rec and stuff.
That's
and,
great,
and going through it. But it was unreal then meeting all them people that I've watched on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah. And so your dad is taking you to all these places, taking you to the Ukraine, taking you to Russia,
So they would have been with the Irish team that time. I was after winning the All Irelands, and then you go away with the Irish team.
Yeah.
And you never really go to the nice places with the Irish team. It's always like Russia or Ukraine. Which, to be honest, we went to an app in Russia, and it was around March time, but it was like a summer resort where we went to. And I remember, like, the resort we were staying in, there was a swimming pool that I'd say no one has been in it since, like, August before. And then what could you do? You could go down to the bowling alley and you can get a pizza while we're watching weight, so you can't even have the pizza. And then I remember I boxed for the Irish team that time, and the food in Russia, in an app anyway, it was rotten. Oh. And I boxed, and your man punched the head off me. And he was actually very good. He went on and won, like, as a senior, he went on and won world silver medal and stuff, like. But I remember, obviously I'm sure he was just eating bits of chocolate and stuff, and the food
energy, like.
The food was cat.
Yeah.
And I was wondering what was going on. I'm sure I sorted out my diet then when I came home, and I think I won the All-Ireland that year after that. But it was kind of, you're learning all the time, you know what I mean? But I'll never forget that day anyway. Your man, Belarusian, he punched it off me. But
Jesus.
It was a rough one.
This is a strange question now, right? But, like, you know, like, what's it like to get a right punch into the face? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, I was in 3 fights in my life, right? I lost them all. Yeah. Okay. They were schoolyard fights.
Right.
I just let them win because, you know, it wasn't fair to them, like, you know. But
earlier on you were saying you're a bit like Tyson now, so it's kind of starting to change a little bit now as we go.
Pacifist Tyson, kind of like, do you know what I mean? Like, I could if I wanted to, but I'm not going to go on, lads, kick the living shit out of me.
Yeah.
And one particular fight I got into, right, it was in a soccer match, and a fella caught my head in Coleman's in St. Coleman's and just banged it off the thing, and I actually saw stars.
Yeah.
Do you know the way you see in the cartoons, you see the stars?
Yeah.
Like that's a fucking thing. Like, have you ever got a box?
Of course. You're like, I'm boxing at 76 kilos as an amateur. I was 81, 86. So they're strong men, like, you know what I mean? So
because I never wanted to. And I remember that time a fella by the name Eamon Goggin, right? If he's watching, I don't know. He's from Fremont. Fair play to Eamon. Clattered the head off me, right? I never, ever in my I was about 15 or
next
16.
Next week's guest.
Hopefully, come on, Goggin. I did for the rest of my life. I skillfully managed to avoid all conflict because of the pain of getting a fucking your head.
Don't get me wrong. It's not the best feeling in the world, but in the fights and stuff, you've so much adrenaline. You're not really feeling the shots you might get when you actually do get dazed and stuff. You're not actually hurt, but you're kind of like, oh. But in sparring, all right, you'd feel them, because I remember, like, I was training up in a Thai for a while now, and the gym up there would be freezing, like, and like, say on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning there, it'd be like in the winter now, like going outside there now, and you get a dig into the nose, and the eyes be watering now and everything, and you're rough enough, like, you know what I mean? Puts hairs in your chest.
Yeah, I'll have to get a few hairs onto my chest there now. Tell me, anger. Like, do you have to be like, and you have to obviously have a bit of a fucking dog in you, like, if you're going to be a fighter, like,
you
like, can you channel that? Like, is that something you channel? Or?
I wouldn't be angry, but I'd have plenty of spite, like.
Yeah.
You have to be kind of, you have to have plenty of spite, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But anger, I would say, would be the wrong word.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're boxing angry, you're in trouble, like.
Because you don't want it to be emotional.
No.
Yeah.
No.
You want to be in control of your emotions.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right. Lovely. This is a question that I'm interested in, right? So I was reading up on boxing and reading up about yourself, and I saw this thing, Ring IQ, right? Ring IQ, which is, I presume, is ring intelligence, you know, boxing intelligence. Yeah. Like, can you talk to me about that? Like, how does that develop? Like if you're going into a fight, like, do you go, I'm going to try and stand back from him here now, or I'm going to go for the first 3 rounds heavy, or like what? Like, how does that improve over time? Or
experience? It has to be experience, and then watching the sport as well. Like, as I said, I was always a little freak for it, so I'd always watch loads of it. I used to make like little highlight videos for fighters and everything, and I have a couple of YouTube channels there that I was doing when I was like 10 or 11, and I remember I'd be on my dad's computer, and sure, he probably gone to the computer, and there's like 4,000 videos after being downloaded there in the last month, and I'm there on iMovie making like little edits and stuff. So I suppose that's why I was learning so much about the sport, and it was helping me in a way that I didn't even realise.
Yeah.
And then obviously experience, I've had over 100 amateur fights, and like I said, that fight now in Russia, things like that, experience inside the ring, but also then you're eating crap before the fight, so you're going to box crap. Like, your food is your fuel, like, so things like that. Just experience. I've been around the sport now since I'm so young, so I think I'd be fairly cute in the ring, like.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. So you're coming in now. Are you coming to when is peak considered in boxing? I know, in, like we'll say in hurling football, it's kind of 28, 29, 30 is when you have the full faculties. But I see with boxers that they go well into their 30s. Like,
it depends on the weight. A lot of it.
Does it?
Like, you look at the heavyweights, they come into their peak in like the mid 30s nearly, like 30, 35. And they can go on, like George Foreman was 50, nearly 50 when he won a world title. And then the lighter weights are kind of 25, 26. Some of them do go a bit later, like, but around my weight, I suppose 28, 29.
29.
Yeah, 30.
And where are you, like, what's the next step then? Like, do you know what I mean? I obviously, like, you're 15 and 0? Or is it
14
14
yeah.
and 0. That's very impressive, like. Do you know what I mean? They're professional fights, like.
Yeah.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
Like, do you try and get in contact with a promoter, or does a promoter get in contact with you, or do you send them stuff, or?
Yeah, it can go both ways, really. At the minute, I'm lucky to have the support I get in Cork, and I'm able to fight in Cork and get great support there, which is good when you sign with a promoter. I went to Australia this year. I fought in Melbourne, and like I was kind of doing it the old school way there, handing out posters and trying to meet people and get my name out around Melbourne and going to pubs and stuff like that. And just meeting people that way, and I ended up selling like 200 tickets over there in space of 2 weeks. Jesus. So 2 or 3 weeks, which is good going. Like, if I lived there, I can.
That's very good going.
I would do pretty well. Like,
and then obviously that's documented, and then like promoters are looking, this fella's good, he's 15 and 0, like he's fucking, there's crowds coming to him, he looks a little bit like the fella off the Notebook, you know, like, let's fucking, if he doesn't, maybe he might want to go out with me or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, there's options there, is it, what's your ambition? Like, is it
my ambition since a child, and always has been, is to be world champion. And this year, I know we want to be fighting for ranking titles, which gets your world ranking, gets you top 15 in the world, and that's the plan this year, kind of push on towards the world ranking. And then once you have that, you're not in any rush then. You know what I mean? You just keep building and keep developing all the time. So you have to try and get a fight with someone in the top 15 then, do you, to get into the world ranking? Well, it's just fight for one of the titles. And then to fight one of the titles, the ranking body has to kind of accept the opponent. The opponent has to be suitable for the title. So I'd be suitable because I'm 14 and 0. I'm like top. I think I'm 80 in the world on box right now. So like it'd be someone like around that kind of record and that ranking as well that I could fight then.
Great, man. Great. Well, fuck it. Were you a scrapper growing up?
I wasn't. I'm always kind of been fairly chill out. Even as a young fella, I was kind of quiet, shy. It was when we opened the bar, that's when I kind of started coming out of myself, because you kind of, not that you've no other choice, but you're talking to people non-stop, talking to people that you've never met. And all of a sudden they're becoming friends and stuff like that, of even older men, and the conversation just changes, it varies. Like, so, I was never a scrapper. I was always kind of fairly chilled out.
Yeah, okay. So I was talking about, you know, ambition and, you know, education, and, you know, when you were 7, what you would have sucked up from being in those areas, you know, and then how your dad was a massive influence, and your great granduncle was there, and you know, you just said there, look, I want to win a world championship. Do you have a vision board?
I don't. Well,
do you visualize anything like that, or when you're training, is there? Anything
I do,
like
and
that?
I don't. Like, I can show you my lock screen on my phone is 4 world title belts, so I suppose that's it. Without even realising that, I put that there about 6 or 7 months ago. So so I'd obviously have goals and stuff like that, but I'd say a prayer every night, and I'd pray towards them, and obviously then give gratitude and stuff like that.
I'm delighted you brought that up now. I did a decade of the rosary on the way up here tonight.
Did you? Yeah.
I swear to God. Do you know what I asked for? I was talking about this in a podcast a couple of weeks ago, right? I've started back praying in the last couple of months. Don't know why, just came into my world, and I've gone with it. But like, I was like, I just want to have a great podcast now. I want to be able to have a good conversation with this gentleman, find out a little bit about him find out a little bit about me, and make that go easy. And I'll offer this up to you here now. And whether it goes my way or not, I always feel better after the prayer. Can you tell me a little bit about your praying vibes?
I remember my mum always saying, make sure you say your prayers before you go to bed. And I don't know that used to do it, but when I was in LA now with Ian, he'd go to mass a lot, and I'd never really go because he'd always be going in the morning, and I'd be kind of chilling out before training or whatever. I kind of make an excuse not to go.
Yeah.
And I need to make it a habit of starting to go to Mass now, but my mother-in-law now would go to Mass a lot. But yeah, I'd say my prayers now every night. It always kind of give gratitude, and I think it's important to have gratitude for. We've so much to be thankful for, and it can be simple things, like it can be such simple things, and we've so much to be thankful for. When you look at other people there that have a lot of tragedy in their life, and I've been very lucky with my upbringing and the people I have around me. So yeah, I've a lot of gratitude to give. So I try to give more gratitude than ask for anything. Obviously, you'd ask for one or two things. Then,
every now and then, like, do you know what I mean?
Every now and then, every
it's not
2
all
nights,
one way, like, you know.
Yeah.
No, that's great, because like gratitude, it is. They do, like, I have a joke in my show, like they say gratitude is the new cocaine, like, you know. And then I go, well, it's actually not, because I had 2 lines before I came on stage and I get nothing off it. That's my joke, you know. But it is a very it is something that I have found myself over the last few years. That. And as you said, you can be grateful for, like, sometimes I'm there, like, just grateful for my nose. Like, that's great that I'm able to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Simple things.
Simple things.
Yeah, simple things.
And it raises my vibration. Like, I'm into vision boards and affirmations and all that kind of stuff. And a lot of people, like, I'm delighted now you have that on your phone, because some people are out there, they'll be thinking, oh no, I'm not into that. But they actually subconsciously are. By giving gratitude, you're just raising your vibe. You're putting yourself into a better position in life. And
like a lot of people read The Secret, and a lot of that is about gratitude and stuff like that. I've read bits of it, and I've heard a lot of interviews, like Jim Carrey writing himself a check for $5 million, and then he has Dumb and Dumber, and like stuff like that is unbelievable. And it's hard not to believe in it a bit, I think.
Yeah, I'm a
when you hear
believer
stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm for, and I've filtered around The Secret, right? And one of my New Year's resolutions, I got diagnosed with ADHD there last year, and they gave me a medication for it.
I'm shocked, to be honest.
Come here, boy. I'll fucking take you. But I couldn't, like, as I said, I failed my leaving cert. I couldn't read a book. I couldn't read a book. And I'd be like, I loved English in school. That's the soundings from English. And it would take me maybe 10 minutes to read a page. Do you know, that kind of way. But since I've got this medication, I'm able to concentrate a little bit better. And a book that I would recommend reading, I'm rereading it at the moment, is called The Alchemist.
Right. I've heard of it,
A very small book by a fellow by the name of Pablo Coelho. A very small little thin book, maybe 160, 70 pages. And it's got, it's just a story about this fella, this shepherd, and his whole life, and it's in about 160 pages, and it's like I had quotes for it for my wedding, and it's all very, very beautifully told, but the law of attraction filters the way through it the whole way, which is thoughts become things. Do you know, when you're being grateful for something, like, you know, you're just, things happen for you then. Do you know, you're just like, if you're positive things happen for you. If you're negative things generally 100%. Come your way, like, 100%. You know. But it is hard to stay into that mindset.
It is, and I think it has a lot to do with people that are around you as well. Like, I've always heard, like, what you give out, you get back. And that's another thing, you know what I mean? If you're giving out good, you get good back as well. So it's just trying to be a nice person and trying to be good to people, and they're generally going to be good back to you, like. Unless they're proper pricks, then, like.
Cunts.
Yeah, some people are just miserable. But then you kind of have to look at it another way. You don't know what they have going on in their life either. Do you know what I mean?
Fuck's sake, you're right.
But
what's going on in their lives that they're such cunts?
I do try to, like, don't get me wrong now, I've often had a conversation, I say, he's some langer, like. And you don't know what they have. They mightn't have any, they might just be a langer. I don't know.
I know what you mean, though.
Sometimes you have to give them the benefit of the doubt, like, and just say, look.
And if they're continually at it, then you're just kind of like, see you later, like.
You just have to stay away from them.
Like, have you come across that, like, in your industry, like toxic, I suppose, energy vampires? Do you know what I mean? Do you ever come across an energy vampire? You've been in a great farm, and the next thing you're in someone's company, and you're going away, and you're like.
Well, I do work in a bar, like.
Okay, you've got a lot of energy vampires still in a bar.
I do work in a bar, and look, I'm grateful for what you call them, the energy vampires. I'm grateful for them, because they support the bar and their country around, but at the same time, some of them would zap you. And I suppose they might say the same about me there. If I might come in a bad mood there someday, they might say, Jesus Christ.
What does he think he is there, boy? Give me a pint of beer.
What time you want till there? Like, do you know what I mean? Get out, like.
Well, they're not going to cause any trouble with you there anyway. That's the one thing.
You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. You know what I mean?
Or you probably would have a few fellas go, "Come here, boy. I'll take it." Would you ever have that?
No, I haven't. Nah, not really. You know, I've never had anyone kind of just been. I try to be as nice as I can to people. So again, there's always some fellas that kind of just like, you just have to keep a wide berth of them.
Yeah.
Some people are just hard to be around. But I've never had no one really starting any shit or anything like that.
Did you drink a pint?
Do you know what? I didn't drink for 3 years before I turned pro, and I went over to Liverpool a couple of weeks ago, and I was going over for one of the lads. It was actually the week after my fight, and one of the lads was fighting, so I was going over to support him, and I knew loads on the flight going over to Liverpool, people going on stags and 40ths and stuff like that. And I thought nothing of it anyway. I booked into the hotel, and I would go, I'd go down and get Popeyes. So I went down for Popeyes anyway, and I bumped into one of the lads I know from Cork. And I wouldn't be like very close to him, but he says, we're going out there if you fancy going out. I go, I actually have jeans, so I'll go out. So I'd often go out with the lads in town in Cork, like, and wouldn't drink and it wouldn't bother me, like.
Yeah.
And next of all, they got these little shot things, and they were like, have one of them. So I goes, all right, I'll have one of them. So there was nothing off it, but they had about 8 or 9 of them. So there was still nothing off it. Next of all, the vodka White started coming. And I was like, look, and I was like, no, I don't drink, boy. And he was like, go on, have it. So I had one anyway, sure. It came to about 2 o'clock in the morning. I was looking at the time, and I seen 2 o'clock, and I was like, this is the best night ever now. And it's already nearly over. Yeah. So I don't drink normally, but
on occasion
I ended up langers anyway. Went up well steamed, but it was a great night.
Yeah, I suppose seldom is beautiful as well, like something like that.
I'm actually a bit of a pest if I drink, so that was kind of one of the reasons I went off it. And then obviously you don't benefit anything from it.
No, and in your world, like, it's unless you've just finished a fight and you've got nothing on for 6 months, it's just counterproductive, really, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That's kind of the way I was looking at it. And again, I am a pest as well.
Are you?
Like,
tell me how you're a pest.
I can't drink pints, like, because I don't like the taste of a drink. I don't like the taste of it. So if the lads are on the Jaegers or something like that, like the Jaegers are no good for me then, because next thing I wake up and I'm like, oh Jesus, like serious fear, like. Yeah.
What did I say?
That was kind of the turn off for me then, and I just left it off then.
The fear the next day is the worst. Yeah, like, especially if you're not used to it. Like, I can imagine now yourself, you're over in Manchester, you're fucking drinking. What are the little fucking shot glasses? Is it like, how many of those did you have?
And they were lovely. 2
or 3 of them, like.
And we had a good few of them. But there was not enough of them, to be fair. And you know what? I was steaming out, but I was making sure like that. No, I make sure I know you don't get too drunk. Like.
Yeah.
But I ended up walking one of the lads home, so I was delighted with myself.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
You can't drink for shit, boy.
Yeah.
Amazing. I have 2 more questions left.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. This is going great. I love it. My question is, what is Cork?
The best place ever.
All right,
it is, like, I love it. And we get a lot of stick for loving Cork so much.
So
but look,
that's because they're not from there.
I think anyone that has moved here as well, they realise the hype is real. You know what I mean?
The hype is real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's actually probably underhyped.
Yeah, maybe.
We don't want to get up there too much.
Just the people of Cork are unbelievable, great people. And then you look at, like, for sports, like, look at the sports stars that we've produced, like, through the years. It's unreal. Yeah. It's the best place. The food is unreal. People are unreal.
But even in the acting world, like Cillian Murphy, like, do you know what I mean? Like, he's lauded as one of the greatest actors on planet Earth right now.
Unreal.
Like Sonia O'Sullivan, like Rob, yourself now as well, Chris in the comedy world. Like, we definitely punch way, and
it's unreal.
Roy Keane, we didn't even mention Roy or Jimmy, like, you know, like, I mean, Jesus Christ, we could keep going here. We'll just
it's unreal. It's great. It's great. Like, it's. But I remember being in LA now and, like, missing home, like, and Brandon, who was staying with us, he was boxing as well over there. He's from Kilkenny, like, and I'd be on about Cork, and he was saying, "What's your obsession with Cork?" I'm over in LA now, bearing in mind, like,
you're in LA,
and I'm missing Cork, like, I'm like, oh God,
to be done pan.
I just want to be going for a walk around town, and that's what I'd be home, and I'd be just I go in. Soma is where I go for my coffee. Like, so I'd go in for a coffee in Soma and I'd be walking around town and I'd be delighted then. Like,
Yeah.
and you just delighted.
Like what's your perfect Saturday in Cork? Like if you didn't know work now and you Saturday morning you could fucking do whatever you wanted.
Well, since COVID, no, I'm a massive coffee drinker. I used to be tea. The kettle would be going all the time in our house before, but I'm massive for coffee now.
Freudian slip.
So I'd go for a
back to the day in LA in the bed.
Yeah. So I'd go for a coffee in town. But Som is my place in town. That's how I love it in there. And I'd just go for a walk around town. That would be or breakfast. I love going for breakfast as well.
I love your I do follow you on the socials, and I do love and I'm going to finish up with this question here now, right? I love your obsession with food.
Yeah.
Like, because I'm the same.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I mean? And like, we've similar physiques, so
Yeah.
you know, we've similar appetites. But you have been sentenced to death for a crime.
Oh, I heard this on Rob's one, yeah.
You haven't committed this crime, but you have been sentenced to death. By.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's nothing you can do to get out of it.
Yeah.
But the jailer has come along and he said, look, listen, Tommy, you can have a starter,
Right.
a main course, and a dessert. And you can have anything you want. And you can have an individual drink to accompany all of those.
Yeah.
What are you having for your starter?
Mine would be very mixed mash now, but like for a starter, the chicken wings and scoozies, they're just unbelievable.
What sauce is on them?
It's not. It might be salsa, I think.
Is it salsa?
I
Do you
think
like them
it's-
spicy or do you like the barbecue? I love the barbecue.
Not the barbecue. No, barbecue is it's a bit yank, isn't it?
I'm a bit of a yank when it comes to chicken wings.
No, the salsa's unreal. They're not spicy, like they're
I love Scoozy's garlic bread.
unreal. Scoozies is just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Spot anyway. The pavlova for dessert. Oh, stop the lights. No,
I've never had that in there now, actually.
We'd normally go, like, if there was a birthday or something, we'd go to Scoozies, like, and the pavlova, that's all you're thinking about. Oh,
you're just getting through the rest of the stuff to get to the pavlova.
The chicken wings now are unbelievable as well, like, but
So we'll say chicken wings, right? Do you know the way sometimes with the chicken wings they bring out the old fucking bit of the old
nah, the blue
green,
cheese, is it?
the blue cheese.
Nah,
and what's the
I wouldn't touch that, no.
I have it in juice in the morning. What is it? The fucking stalky thing. Not cucumber, celery.
Nah, I wouldn't go near that, no, either.
Yeah.
Nah.
I'm kind of thinking like just try on another fucking chicken wing.
Yeah,
like. Do you know what I mean?
Or two, even.
Or two. Try on two more chicken wings.
The
Hold on.
celery, I don't know. I think that's for spicy wings, is it?
Yeah,
to kind of
probably.
cancel out that. But the salsa wings in Scoozies are the ones. I know Rob said Luigi Malone's, I think.
It is, yeah.
Which are savage as well. I think they're a bit more spicier though.
Yeah.
But then main course.
Well, you have to drink with that now. You're having like it's a spicy
Coke
drink.
Zero.
Coke Zero.
Coke Zero.
I love the way Coke hits the back. I'm after Coke at the moment now because of the Palestinians, right? But I have when you have a nice cold Coke, and it just hits here.
You get a little sting and all off it. Yeah,
I fucking
it's
love
the same
it.
with the Fanta. It's the little sting in the back of the throat is unreal. Like.
I fucking love a chicken wing now. Actually, what are you having for your main?
Main course is a dips there down the black market. They do a curry, Massaman curry, I think it's called. Oh my god, it's like a creamy kind of coconut curry. It's unreal. I'd probably go for that. It's like a Asian. It's kind of like a healthy Asian food.
Okay, with chicken or beef or lamb.
Chicken with that.
Yeah,
it's a bit mix and match now from the.
Mix and
It's
match
a different vibe, isn't it?
You're
But
dying
look,
tomorrow,
I'm dying
man.
tomorrow,
You're
so
gone tomorrow,
I might
like.
as well get whatever I can. Like,
yeah, get as much of it as you can.
Yeah, I'd
it's
go for
free.
that.
It's free munch, like.
I'd go for that. Yeah.
So what comes with that then? Like, did you get a naan with it? Did you get rice with it? Or
You can get. Yeah, I might as well get all of them.
get the fucking lot of it.
Yeah.
I love a naan bread. Like Indian is
It's
my
more
favorite.
kind of like it's more kind of a Chinese-ish. It's more like it wouldn't be like the Indian vibe, although. Yeah, it's more kind of like Thai food kind of thing. Because I went to a Thai restaurant in Dubai recently and it was the same curry and I was like, oh, I had this before and Kara straight away. That's from Dips. And I was like, oh my God, this is unbelievable.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it was
That's
unreal.
mad. That Dubai have the same kind of...
It's Thai food. Like, I'm not sure what genre Dips is.
I don't know.
It's lovely anyway. It's lovely.
And it's in the black market, is it?
The black market. When you go into the black market, the first one on the left, I've been in there now. That's probably my go-to there now. There's a lot of nice food places in there now, but that would be my go-to. Like,
so your drink, you're gonna have another Coke with this, or you can mix it up?
I I go for a Fanta orange for this one then, do you know what I
You're
mean?
a lunatic boy.
Yeah. You mix and match like.
Am I right in
I
saying
might go for one of them shots over Liverpool.
6 or 7 of them with your pavlova? Is it the pavlova, obviously?
No,
then?
I'd actually,
brilliant.
my favourite dessert is an apple crumble.
And custard?
Custard and ice cream as well.
That's my favourite dessert as well.
Yeah.
That's my favourite dessert.
I think if you say anything other than that, there's something wrong with it.
Yeah, it's the quintessential Irish dessert.
Unreal.
Big, huge bowl of it.
Yeah.
No, that's not enough. Put more in.
Yeah.
And
I want to be getting sick afterwards. Like.
what do you mean other people want some? Do you know what I mean? That's mine.
Yeah.
I love, and do you know what? It'll always fill you properly then at the end of it. Custard, and you putting cream on it as well, did I hear? Or
ice cream, I'd say. But it has to be warm custard now, and warm apple crumble as well. Like.
Yeah.
And then...
come in second now, right? Because I can't get good apple crumble out.
Yeah.
Like, normally we just buy it like in a shop, like in Super Value or something like that.
Yeah.
But I rarely.
I think like there's no right go for it. Like, but I think like the places that do like pub food are good for apple crumble. Like,
yeah, I suppose with a carvery vibe.
Have you ever had a rhubarb crumble?
Yeah.
I've got one of them now down in Fitzpatrick's there in Glontown during COVID, and I've tried to get it 20 or 30 times since, and I haven't had it, but it is unbelievable as well.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually think I prefer that, but I'd go for the apple crumble because it's just easier to get.
Yeah, yeah. Listen, man, you put this jailer to the test, man. If he doesn't get the apple crumble or the rhubarb crumble, maybe you might get an extra day on the planet, like.
Yeah, if it gives me an extra day, I'm not going to enjoy the food anyway.
You're not going to, no. That's great.
She's ending on a good note. I'm dead in the morning. I better say me prayers tonight.
1 second. Yeah, say your prayers. You'll get away with it.
Gratitude. Someone save me there.
Yeah, listen to me. I really enjoyed this.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for coming on. We'll have it out next week. We'll get it all over the place.
Brilliant, boy.
And we'll be down in the park watching you.
Brilliant.
48,000
The
people.
marquee first, maybe.
We do the marquee first.
When I watched Chris down in the marquee and yourself, no, I was saying this would be unreal for a fight.
It would be.
And it was unbelievable. There was some turnout down there that time. Like,
what a buzz that night was.
It must have been unreal for you.
Like obviously it was Chris's big night.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I was delighted to be a part of it. It was like bar my own solo show in the Everyman, my first show in the Everyman. It was the highlight of my professional career, but it was just fucking unbelievable.
But would you support Chris all the time? Because I think you supported him in the Everyman as well, didn't you?
So I did a lot of his tour support now on his last tour and his tour prior to that, and we'd be good old pals. And I'm very we're talking about gratitude here now. Like I have a pain in my face from telling Chris how grateful I am for all the opportunities he's given me.
Brilliant.
But that day in particular, do you know, everything just went right that day.
Yeah.
From the minute we got there, everything was just easy. And like, I think he was maybe close to 100 shows deep of that show at that stage before he got there. And he had kept it out of Cork. Like the year prior, he had done a load of shows. I think he did like 7 or 8 Everymans.
Yeah, I was at one of them. And he did a lot of Everymans.
He did. Like, and so this time he did I'm going to hold as much possible back and try and fill the marquee. And sure, he fucking filled it.
Yeah.
But it was,
and he's an absolute legend.
And he's the legend and the soundest man.
You'd be surprised because he's actually kind of a shy fella.
Yeah.
Because we met him. It would have been a couple of weeks after the marquee, and we met him in 5 Points there on McCurtain Street. And my aunt, Regina, she comments on all my stuff, Tommy Hyde or Cork Hero, right? She's doing that since I'm like 16, right? And they'd be all my cousins will be laughing over it, but she is the opposite to shy, right? So she was living in Hollyhill, where Chris is from, and she walked into. I was chatting to Chris, and he didn't know that my aunt was with me, and she just looked in and looked at him like that, and he kind of looked and there was nothing said, and I was like, she goes, our superstar, something like that now, and he was like, how are you getting on? And she went in and hugged him, and I was like, Chris, that's my Aunt Regina. I was like trying to get out as fast as I could, but I did a great laugh off it, because for someone that's so out there on social media and he's doing such big things, he's actually a shy fella.
Yeah, no, he's a legend. He is. And Asher, look, listen, it's like kind of like yourself there, hanging around the greats. You become kind of the more I've read this, and I think, I don't know if you ever heard of it. Like, you kind of become a version of the people that you hang around with. You know, like 3 or 4 of your friends or family or whatever. And like, for me, I can't hang around with Chris more. Do you know what I mean? Like, he's a good friend now as well. And I just like I love his bones. And like, fucking. Yeah, top class. Top class. We got off the you dying tomorrow bit now very handily there, but I brought it back up there again now, so kind of fun.
I was in on a good note.
Listen, man, go on. God bless you.
Thank
and we'll
you,
talk to you soon, and
appreciate
hopefully we'll see you during the year.
Thanks,
God bless. Peace and love. Good night, and God bless, and stay in by the wall.